Hi guys, welcome back to channel Codeboard. As always, today we are going to develop another interesting application. In my last video, we have developed a screen sharing application. And as I mentioned in that video, our next step is to extend that application's functionalities and develop a remote desktop application. If you think about a remote desktop application, it has basically two parts. First, sharing the screen, and second, perform some tasks from that particular shared screen. So sharing the screen part we have already developed. If you have not seen that video yet, I recommend to watch that first, then come here. We will continue today from where we finished our last video. Okay. So in the second part, as I mentioned, perform some tasks, which means perform key and mouse events from a remote location. Correct? There are many key events like key up, key down, key press, etc. Similarly, we have many mouse events also, like mouse cursor move, left click, right click, scroll, etc. Our aim is whenever user will perform any of these key or mouse events from a shared screen, that event should take place on the actual computer as well, right? In this video, I will cover mouse cursor move, left click and key up event. Concept for all other events will be exactly similar to this. If you face any problem during development, please send out a mail to me. I will try to help you out as much as possible. Okay? So enough theory. Let's start developing a remote desktop application. Let's have a very quick recap on the application architecture. In the desktop screen sharing application, we have two tiers, server and client. The client is a desktop application which is developed using electron.js, and the server side coding was done using nodejs. Client and server communicates using WebSocket protocol. Client app takes continuous screenshots from the desktop screen and send the base64 encoded image data to the server. And the server displays that image data in a HTML image element. Now, if we talk about the project structure, then we had two projects. One is for the client application and another one is for the server application, right? The client application is basically an electron.js app. So if we go to the package.json, you will be able to see that we are using the electron dependency. Okay. The app.js is the entry point for the electron application. Now if we go to the server application, the index.js is the entry point. Okay. And you can see that we are starting the WebSocket server at the 5000 port. The display.html file contains an image element. So this image element displays the screenshot image that is sent from the client application. Today we will start our coding from this display.html file. Now if I go to the browser, the display.html file is looking like this right now. Okay. So let me tell you that today I am not going to focus on improving the user interface or look and feel. I will focus on the remote desktop functionalities. Okay. Maybe I can create a separate video to improve this particular UI. So now let me go to the display.html file. First, we have to change the width and height of this particular image to match it with the full HD resolution. That is 1080 by 1920 pixel. Okay. Because the screen that we are going to share in this particular video and test it, that is in a full HD resolution. So let me change the width here as 1920 pixel and the height is 1080 pixel. Okay. So now if I go to the browser and refresh this particular page, let me put something here, and you will be able to see that the page is now scrollable because the browser viewport is smaller than the image size. Okay. But for now, we will just zoom out the browser to display the full image. As I mentioned, today we are not going to focus on the UI. So just bear with this particular bad kind of design. we will focus on the application functionalities. Later we will fix all these particular things. Okay, so let's go back to the coding now. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to cover 3 events in this video: the mouse cursor movement, the left click, and the key up. Okay, first I need to bind those 3 events with this image element. Okay, so let's go to the script section. Inside the window onload function, I'll bind the events with the image element. Okay, so let's write $img dot mouse move and then the callback function, right? Let's do the same for the click also, the left click. And finally, I need to bind the key up event. But binding the key up event with the image element is a bit difficult. So we will bind the key up event with the window element itself. Window dot bind key up and then the callback function. This is for the mouse move, this is for the left click, and then this is the key up event. Okay, so we'll write the code inside this particular callback methods. So when I will move mouse on this particular image element, if I want to replicate the same on the original PC from where the screen is shared, I need to find out the mouse cursor's position with respect to this image element, right? So first, now I am going to get the coordinate of the mouse cursor when the mouse cursor will be moved on this image element. Okay, so let's define a variable var pos x, which will be $this dot offset dot left. Okay, and then var pos y be $this dot offset dot top, and var x e dot page x minus pos x, variable y equals to e dot page y minus pos y. Okay, so these two variables x and y is the coordinate of the mouse cursor with respect to this image element. Okay, now we will create an object first using these two variables. Okay, so let's define an object var object equals to x, then y, and finally the room variable. Okay, so room will be room. So from where this room variable is coming, so that is from the prompt. Okay, so the room id, this is basically the room id. Okay, and finally we will emit an event to the socket server. Okay, so for that, socket dot emit, and then put a event name, let's say mouse move. Okay, and then we'll add the data as this object. Okay, so let's make it json dot stringify object. So what we are doing here, we are basically getting the mouse coordinate with respect to this image element, and then we are emitting an event mouse move to the socket server along with the data that is the object stringified value, right? So we need to do same kind of thing for the click, but for the click we don't need the coordinate. So what I need to do here is we just need to create an object, var object equals to only the room variable. Here I need room, and I just need to emit in the similar way I did for the mouse move. Okay, but for this I need to change the event name, that is mouse click. Perfect, right? And I need to do kind of the same thing for the key up event. So just let me copy this, but for the key up I need to know which key has been pressed. Okay, so that is key and e dot key. Okay, and I also need to change the event name here. So let's change the event name as type. Okay, and the rest of the things should be same. So our display.html JavaScript coding is completed. So that is the all we wanted to write here, and we are creating a object with the required information and sending the object data to the socket server. So I need to handle all these events in this index.js file where our socket server is running on the 5000 port, correct? So now we will write the handlers for the events that we have emitted from the display.html in the index.js file. Okay, so let's write socket.on mouse move and then the callback function, argument as data. Okay, so now we will pass the data as a JSON. So var room as json.parse data. We emitted the stringified value of this particular data, and that is why we are converting the data string to the JSON object once again, and then we are taking the room value. Okay, we need the room value because we want to broadcast the data only to the specific room, not to everyone. Okay, so now we need to do socket dot broadcast dot to and then the room dot emit. Need to provide some event name. Let's keep it same, and then the data. Okay, so whenever server will receive an event with name mouse move, it will extract the room ID and then it will broadcast a data string to the all clients who are connected with this particular room ID. Okay, so I need to do the same for the mouse click and the type as well. So just let me copy this, and I just need to change the name of the event. So let's do it click. This should be type, and here also I need to change the name as mouse click, and this is also type, right? So whenever I will do something like moving mouse on the image, clicking on the image, or typing something, all the data will be emitted to the server in the index.js. And whenever the server will receive that particular data, it will broadcast to all the clients who are connected with this particular room, right? So now if I go to the client tab, in the app.js, we will receive all these events. I need to handle all these events and accordingly perform some task on the original PC from where the screen is being shared. Okay. Now we will write our code inside the create window method. We will write some handlers here inside this method to handle the events which we are going to receive from the socket server, right? So let's write socket.on. First event is mouse move, correct? And then our callback function, right? Similarly, we will have two more handlers, one for mouse click and another one is for type. Right. Now we will write our coding inside these callback methods. So what is our purpose here? When we will receive the mouse move event, we will receive the coordinate as well using this data argument, okay? And we need to move the mouse cursor programmatically to that particular coordinate, right? And for the mouse click also, when we will receive a event mouse click, that means user has clicked on the particular image and we need to perform the same programmatically in the original PC. Same for the type. Now the question is, how will we perform the mouse click or mouse movement or the typing programmatically in the original PC? Okay, so there is a solution. We have a library robot.js which is developed in Node, and this is a basically open source library which is hosted in GitHub, and this will help us to execute the key and mouse events programmatically in a computer. Okay, so if you go to the documents, so if you go to the detail syntax here, you will be able to see all different kind of mouse events, different kinds of key events are there. So first we need to install this robot.js. So let's just run npm install robot.js. Okay, okay, so our robot.js is already installed now. Now if you go to the package.json, you will be able to see that the dependency has been added. So now in the app.js, this is the callback event for the mouse movement. Okay, now what is the data? The data is the serialized object, right? The stringified object basically. So now we need to revert it back to a JSON object. So let's do var obj equals to json.parse data. Okay, now in this object we have the x and y coordinate where the mouse is being moved in the image, the shared image, right? X equals to obj.x, var y equals to obj.y. Okay, so now we have got the x and y, the coordinates. Now if we go to the documentation, let's go to the syntax and then mouse move, you can see that we can move the mouse to a specific coordinate using the move mouse method. Okay, so let's first import this in our client file. In the app.js, let's just put it here, and then we can just copy this move mouse function and paste it in our method, right? So we can just put here x and y, right? Okay, so now we need to do same for the mouse click, but for that we don't need any coordinates or anything. All we have to do is that robot dot, let's check what's the method for the click. It's mouse click, right? And the default value is left. We can just write robot dot mouse click, let's go here and robot dot mouse click. Okay, so that's done. And finally we need to write code for the typing as well. Okay, so for that let me go to the documentation once again and let's check what's this one is for the typing. Okay, key tap event. So we can just one second, we can just call the key tap function for the robot library and we need to pass the key. Okay, so let's go back to the client app and we can write the same thing, var dj equals to json dot pass and then data. Inside data we have a variable called key, so var key equals to otj dot key, right? And finally robot dot key tap and then the key. Okay, so that's it. We can now test it. So before proceeding to the final testing, let me show you that I have provided the UUID hard-coded as test just for the testing purpose, so that I can connect with the test room ID very easily from the browser. I don't have to provide the long UUID string. Okay, so I will proceed to the testing, but before that let me request you, please subscribe to channel Codeboard. Your like, comment, subscription and shares motivate me to create many such interesting videos for all of you. Okay, so if you want to proceed to the testing, first I need to start the client app using npm start, pm start, right? And our client app is started now. So let me start sharing. So you can see the token test which is hard coded here is appeared. Now we will restart the server as well because we have changed something. So let me stop it and start it again. So now you can see my another computer screen where I have connected with the client, and you can see that I am controlling the PC from the shared screen. So now if I type in the shared screen, you can see that is also appearing in the original PC. I know that screen is very small here, but everything is being handled from the shared screen, not the original PC. But every action in the shared screen is being replicated in the original screen as well, right? So it's working as expected. So that's it today. Thank you for watching.